Praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Now, I wanted to talk about the mighty men of Israel. And I put in black warriors. And this is what come up. So I put 2 C's in black warriors. You see all these women. Now, women, especially, the women of Israel were extremely delicate, but when you're dealing with today's women, they're in that warrior spirit. They think they can fight men, but really and truly, when you're talking about the mighty men, you're dealing with men. You're not dealing with there's this African woman who led, rebellions, and you had I don't know if it was Jude, who went down or Judith, who went down and I need to reference that, check that, and cut off the head of the man who was persecuting Israel and brought it back. Let me just double check that, because I don't want to. Is it? Let me see. Hopefully. No, that's not it. Oh, Judith. Yeah, it was Judith. So while, God gave her strength and she cut off his head while he slept, and even that she had to use guile and subtlety to be able to do that. When you're dealing with men, the Lord's mighty men, they're in a completely different spirit. We're not trying to befriend you to get you to lower your guard, to take you out. You're just gonna straight kill you. You know what I mean? And that's who the Lord's raising up. Obviously, in righteousness, right now, you're not going to be going around cutting off people's heads. But when the Lord puts the power on his men to be able to do so, it's not going to be a pretty thing. If you look into, no, I want to go to Numbers first, and this is talking about Phineas, and Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one of his men that would join unto Baalpeor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought into his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses. Now, if you really go into the scriptures about it, the reason why he wasn't supposed to bring her was because they used her as a Trojan horse to put a plague on Israel, because they had done some magic, and this simple-minded Jake loves his heathen women. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong. The apostles and the elders say ain't nothing wrong with popping women, and Moses had him a heathen wife, so I can't really say it's wrong, but I say it's better to keep to your own people. You make it simpler that way. And in the sight, for all we know, Moses' woman could have been a tear, for all purposes. But let me carry on. And in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, so he was, a direct descendant of Aaron, who was with Moses, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through. Now you gotta imagine the amount of strength you need to he put the javelin through Donnie and through Donnie's missus right there in one strike. The man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. And those that died in the plague were 20 and 4,000. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, have turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consumed not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Now, if you go into Maccabees, and this is, the spirit of a lot of our people, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, So 2/3 of our people are going in the ways of this people, and they don't see anything wrong with that. But, the mighty men of the Lord are in a completely different spirit. They're going to be completely adverse to the world, and it's really going to piss them off. That's why brother was talking about, when you speak, make sure you speak as the oracles of the Most High, and not not leaning in your own understanding, because sometimes you get emotional and you start speaking of your own experiences or saying things you might not necessarily say because this place vexes you so much you need to vent. And some brothers he was talking about how some brothers use the videos and the scriptures as a kind of like therapy, which is wrong. He made a good point, but sometimes you fall short. But just if your heart's in the right place, it is what it is. What I mean? The Lord does what he does. He might have done that for a reason, just so you learn the correct way to walk and just stick to the scriptures rather than getting all emotional and personal and things. Now this is when you go into Maccabees, you find out, I can't remember their name, the name's escaping me, but Matthias and his 5 children. I believe he had 5 children, maybe 7. I need to study more, but basically they came from the same line as Phineas and Aaron. So in First Maccabees 2:54, Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent. Let's look at the word fervent, because I don't know what that means. Variant. Damn, I'm really getting bad with the spelling now. Hang on, did I even spell that right? Variant definition of frequent, fervent. I think that really is meant to be fervent. Yeah, because sometimes they use a U instead of a V. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent. Now let's look up fervent, because now I'm confused. Fervent meaning having or displaying a passionate intensity, a hot burning or glowing. So the men of the Most High, they're extremely passionate about this. They can't wait to see the end of the Esau. They can't wait, for the Lord to do justice on the earth. They can't wait to see Yahushua. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. So in that same way, it passed on to the kid, his children and his offspring and his descendants. Because you are as your fathers. That's why whenever these people try to get away from the fact that they are their fathers and they, reap the benefits of what their fathers done, you gotta realize it's all bullcrap, because a snake gives birth to a snake. A snake don't give birth to a bear, First Maccabees 2:19. Then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and gives consent to his command. Let me start this here first. And when many of Israel, this is First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 16, and when many of Israel came unto them, Matthias also and his sons came together and answered the king's officer and said to Matthias on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honourable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also. So a lot of the so-called 2/3 were following the customs of the heathen, and as such remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends. If you fall and you come accustomed to this world, you get benefits for it, but you're going to damn your soul in the long term. And thou and thy children shall be honoured with silver and gold. See, carnal rewards, and many rewards which are carnal, not spiritual. Then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. Yahweh forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the left, either on the right hand or the left. Now, yet will I and my sons and brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. Now, when he had left speaking these words, they came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin. So, Israelites were sacrificing to the customs of the heathen according to the king's commandment. So that's what they wanted them to do. Basically, follow our religion, get in line. Which thing when Mephibosheth saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. Now, for all we know, Mephibosheth could have been, Phineas in the reincarnation, because he was zealous. He was zealous and fervent in the spirit for the Most High. And the king's commissioner also, who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down. Thus dealt he zealously for the Lord, for the law of Yahweh, like as Phineas did unto Zambri the son of Salom. Then Mephibosheth cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So this is pretty much what the prophets are doing. That they're saying, if you want to get back to righteousness, follow our ways and seek the Most High. But 2/3 of our people are not going to listen. I just want to cut it short because it's gone a bit over. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 4. Then took Georgius, one of Mephibosheth's sons, 5,000 men, and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out of the camp by night, because they perceived that the enemies were coming, to the end that he might rush in upon the camps of the Jews. This isn't one of Mephibosheth's sons. To the end that he might rush in upon the camp of the Jews and smite them suddenly, and the men of the fortress were his guides. Now when Judas, which is one of Mephibosheth's sons, pardon my French mistake. Now when Judas heard thereof, he himself removed, and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army which was at Emos, while as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp. And in the mean season came Georgius by night in the camp of Judas, and when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for said he, these fellows flee from us. So it's like these pussy ass niggas, man, they run off. But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. And they saw the camp of the heathen, and it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, Fear ye not their multitude, neither ye be afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, perhaps, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day. And so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel. Then the strangers lifted up their eyes and saw them coming over against them. Wherefore they went out of the camp to battle, and they that were with Judas sounded their trumpets. So they joined the battle, and the heathen, being discomfited, fled into the plain. So when the Lord put the spirit on his men, ain't nothing you can do about it. And this is why the heathen rage, because they know that's coming. That standard is going to be set, and there's going to be nothing they're going to do. These people had no armor. They had no armor, no nothing. And yet they still sent them fleeing every which way. One of you shall chase, 1,000. You know what I mean? You should do things mightier than David. So this is what these people are scared of. This is why they're trying to, cut off all these videos and stuff like this, because it scares them. They have all the historical records of what happens when the Lord is with Israel. This is why they like you eating pork, and they put pork in the Doritos, and they put pork here and there. They want you cut off from your power so you follow their ways, because Israel in his right state of mind is a terror unto the nations, man. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you brothers stay strong out there, man. As it said, the spirit of fear is not on us. Let me get that. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. This is 2 Timothy 1:17. For Yahweh have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. See, when you don't panic and you're thinking clearly, you can maneuver properly. I'll just say this before I go. I remember one time, a couple of E's were running upon me and my friend, and I was in the car, and it was like, we need to get out of here because we were in a racist area. One of them was hitting me in my head, and I was, it was my first time driving an automatic car. I didn't know how to put it in gear, and I looked at my friend while this guy's hitting me in my head, and I was like, yo, can you put it in gear for me? So he's hitting me in my head, and my friend just put it in gear, and we rode out of there. So basically, you got to stay calm under pressure, man. You know, when the Lord put that spirit on you, you're gonna stay calm. You're not gonna be panicking. You know, I want to say all praises to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. You know, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the hopefully elect.